Okay. I kept you all talking for too long. Now you don't have anything to say.
You just wait with a bated breath.
That's what she said.
That wasn't a breath.
Also what she said.
Yes, please. So
that Heather gets to see it, I renewed my vows with my 2 wives over this last weekend. And
it's gorgeous.
Oh,
that's my new I joke with them, but no, that's my new wedding ring. So Heather, miss you.
Much love. We'll see you next time. Okay, so we left off. You had just gotten out into the main corridor of this sort of creepy, disgusting room. And you saw this massive minotaur come out from behind these huge cocoons. And immediately you recognize who it is. But Gregor doesn't look anything like how you left him. He looks closer to how you saw him when he was running away in the night the other day. He's darker, almost like covered in soot. This sort of shadowy eminence around him, not like light exactly, just sort of almost as though he's got a shadow cast upon him that never moves. The look on his face is pure rage, though. Let's see. Okay. Can I get a perception check for everybody?
I would be delighted to let you roll perception.
You'd be delighted, huh?
Forgot to pull up the website.
What about the website?
You know, most days I really just feel like using my passive perception instead.
Yeah, if your passive perception is more than what you rolled, do you get that?
No.
Oh, that's why I'd rather use that one.
Per rules,
Oh.
it's typically to where it by default you're passive, but when there's a specific role asked, it is.
Did I
always
just
your
roll
active.
lower than? Sorry, Cody.
What? You're good.
Yeah, you're right, Cody. The rule of thumb here is that if you're asked to make a perception roll, it's because you're having to pay attention to something specific. Where your passive perception is like you're standing out in front of a tavern and your passive perception will pick up people talking on the other side of the window. That kind of thing.
If I was a DM, I would say I don't see a damn thing.
Right. Let's see. Torch and Dadu, you're the ones who are able to see. So he does look like Gregor, but there's something else about him. His skin is almost translucent when the light hits it. It's what's something to compare it to? I don't know. It's you can see very plainly the muscles, the veins, the bones inside of him through his skin, almost like it's paper thin, but only at certain angles when the light hits it. And Dadu, you specifically, for having over a 15, can see that there is some sort of creature in the center of this thing. You can't make out what it is, but there is another thing piloting this Gregor form like a suit.
Well, that's like
Roll initiative.
What?
Oh. Okay. Heather, I got the text message. Kelly, I have to harass you a bunch of times. Says it right here.
I believe that.
Yumara, you're supposed to roll initiative.
Sorry, mine's taking a little bit to load.
That's okay. So far, they're all really good. Oh yeah, awesome. Cody got it too. No, that's
No, Yumar got a 2.
Amir.
Wi-
Amir got it.
William rolled a William.
I mean, at least
Twice.
at least it's not a 1.
Huh. Why is mine not loading at all?
16, 16, 18, 2.
Did you ask it nicely?
I have not yet. I think I'll just go ahead and there we go.
Oh, no,
Or
that's
16 is
16,
the
18, 2.
perception.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on
Alright.
We're waiting on Torch and
and Tim.
Timmy.
There you go. I think I know what it is. I just have so many browsers up.
There we go.
Miles,
17. Yeah.
feel free to harass me later. I can't find my notes. What's my coin's name?
Oh, Thorum.
Thorn. Thank you.
Yeah, THORUM.
Okay, thank you.
Hey Miles, my thing's oh there we go. I
Now
got a
it's done.
15.
Okay, epic.
Wow, we're all in order.
Okay, Sue, 16, 18. Yeah, all right. That means, Dadu, you're going first.
Where are we in relation to him?
He is dead ahead of you.
And are there any other creatures or anything that we're possibly battling in this area?
You don't see any other creatures around here.
Can they see that?
No, I rolled it just for me.
Oh, okay.
And how far away is he from us? You said he's dead ahead, but how far away is he?
Let's say 50 feet.
Excuse me, Brooke. We haven't received the text message of what you're seeing on his computer yet. Just like I'll let you know.
They might not appreciate me sharing that.
Smart players would know to go look in the chat, though.
Oh,
In the which chat? There are too many chats.
Some players are part of too many chats.
Right.
You ain't wrong.
Anywho, what are you doing, Ryan?
That's an excellent question.
Very good question. That's why I asked it.
Kelly, what are you going to do?
Don't we just throw things and ask questions later?
Most of the time,
they should be asking.
So-
kids.
Here is a moment for you. I'm going to introduce something we haven't used in this game yet. It's holding your action.
Hmm.
So holding your action is something that you as a player can choose to do at any point in the initiative, during your turn. At the start of your turn, you can determine that you want to hold your action until a thing happens. So you could say, I'm going to hold my action until somebody attacks Amir. Or I'm going to hold my action until it looks like the monster moves. Or I'm going to hold my action until you get to choose at what point you drop back into the initiative. But if it comes all the way back around to your turn again, you do not get 2 turns. Make sense? So,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
so if
Just to
during
clarify,
your turn, you can't figure out exactly what you want to do based on what's going on in the scene yet,
Mhm.
you can choose to hold your action and come back into the initiative later on.
talking is a free action at any
It is.
point in time as well. So you can always talk to, like, say, for example, Gregor in front of us. You can try to talk to him and hold conversation, but after a certain period of time, initiative will continue.
Basically, there's just a sort of line as to how much you can fit into the amount of time that a turn would be.
Mhm.
Is intimidating or deceiving counted as an action, or is that still just part of talking?
That is an action. I mean, you can do it as long as you don't roll.
No. Well, I guess at first here, I'm gonna start by just trying to talk to him,
There you go.
and I'm gonna say, Gregor, is that you? It's been a while, my friend. Not since we faced those werewolves. What are you doing here?
Doesn't answer, doesn't appear to move, except it begins to breathe heavier.
Gregor, I'm gonna need you to stand down, my friend, because if you attack us, I'm gonna have to do things that I'd rather not do to a friend of mine. I need you to step away, my friend. I won't be giving you this opportunity again.
Does not appear to be reacting.
Then
Quick
I will
question?
hold. What?
I
But-
I might have missed it. Where are we standing in a loose formation? Are we standing in a row?
So for me to explain what it is, you're basically standing in a row, but this is like I described last time, almost like a server farm where it's a row and then it's hash sideways by other rows, and individually inside of these sort of cross sections are all of these cocoons.
Okay.
So you can walk through these sort of narrow like tunnels in between the cocoons. And then this one path that you're on right now is wider and goes from one side where the door was, where you had passed into this room, all the way to the far wall. So it's wide enough that in this place you could stand 3 abreast if you wanted to. But it's like a dead straightforward hallway. Whatever's in front of you can see you, and whatever you can see them.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. For now, because I'm trying to give Gregor the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna hold my action until he attacks any of us.
Okay. Then next, Torch, you're the next one in initiative. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
You saw what happened with Dadu.
yeah, but he's not doing anything, right? So like, there's nothing to, I'm like, I do have identify, but I don't know if that actually really does anything, and I would have to touch him. So
You could try to investigate as an action.
I was gonna say, can we do like a
You could
history or arcana?
So you could do a couple of different rolls here. You could make an Arcana check. You could make a nature check. You could make a no, not animal handling. I even let you make a medicine check.
well, I think I'm gonna go with Arcana because I have a +2 on that one, right?
Sure.
And Kelly, you still have Shield of Faith on you.
Nice. So what you're seeing in front of you, you haven't seen a monster like this before, but it is very similar to the way that giant spiders work, and how they wrap their prey inside of these huge cocoons. Except it seems almost as though this thing that it's wrapped in is ambiable. It can move around. It's almost like this thing is sort of dormant inside of a Gregor suit. The only things that you've ever seen that could do that are really big bugs.
This isn't by any chance something sent from the Weaver, is it? She got kind of pissed off last time I killed something of hers.
No. I don't want to put it in your head that this thing is wrapped up like a spider would wrap something up. I was more comparing the cocoon.
So question, is there anything that y'all know about Gregor that they would act a certain type of way to something like a stimulus, like kind of like how Tim was very kind of out of it? Like that could be the same case with Gregor here, right? Is there any way that you can kind of tell?
Gregor is loyal, not all that smart, follows directions.
Big.
But yeah, I mean, the physical resemblance is the same.
So to the point of hold your action, like let's say for example, if you wanted to do like, all right, I wanted to cast a spell, or more actually, I would want to shoot a bow, an arrow, at Gregor if he attacks, right? I want to hit him. You can hold that action. It would just be wasted if nothing happens. And it's not going to cost you anything. If it's a spell slot, though, it could. So that's the only difference. But you can't hold movement. That's one of the things. So if you want to move around, kind of move to the side, check things out, you can do that right now. I hope that's okay if I say that stuff, Miles.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So
I don't
was-
consider it backseat DMing. I consider it help.
was what Kelly did her action?
Yeah, she did a skill check.
Okay,
So now she has movement, and
okay.
if she wants to move.
I mean, I'll attack if Gregor attacks.
So I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it ahead for everyone. Gregor's initiative is a 1.
So he's probably not gonna attack.
No,
That
he's
was-
just gonna attack
That was
last.
the roll I saw that I freaked out about. Because Mirror rolled a 2. And then Miles rolled a 1. It's like, there's no way anybody's gonna roll less than a 2.
Miles, look, you're supposed to save the really crappy rolls for, when it's important. Like when he's, trying to kill one of us.
No,
And it's not a,
he's gonna crit next. Don't worry.
Probably.
it's not a contest, Miles.
No, I don't feel threatened at all.
So Kelly's.
That
still-
was his mistake.
What's that?
Kelly's.
See, that
still-
was it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Kelly, do you want to move at all? No, you're just gonna
No. Yep.
Then it is River's turn.
I'm gonna walk towards him.
You're gonna walk towards him.
Yeah, how much can I move in one turn? 30 feet?
Yes, your movement is 30, but you also
Aw.
have feline agility, so you can double your speed.
Well, okay, so actually what I was thinking is not just like directly towards him, but I wanna go over a row in the like weird pod server farm situation and kind of flank.
Okay. So then you can duck into one of the next rows over, but before you can flank, I want you to roll stealth.
Okay. Well, that's lovely.
It's a 22.
Nice.
We have a really good rogue.
Ooh, excuse me.
No.
Okay.
There's no excuse for you, Ryan.
I'm aware of that, but I have to say anyway to be polite.
Okay. So yeah, River darts to the left and then basically vanishes from sight. You've got a movement speed of 30. So
But you said my feline agility would double that.
if you're using it, are you going to use it?
What does that mean? Use it. I only get a
When you
certain
move
amount.
on your turn, you can double your speed until the end of your turn. Once you use it, you can't use it again until you move 0 feet on your turn.
Okay.
So if you do this, you can move half the distance between you and Gregor.
You said he was only 50 feet away.
Correct. And your move, oh, well, if you do feline agility, you can do it.
That's what I'm saying. If would I have enough to move over a row and then all the way like parallel to him, or like
Yes.
maybe catty corner to him where I could see him closer?
Yes.
I want to do that. Whoa. That was very loud.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Your stealth is a 22, so then he gets to roll to see if he detects you. No, you've made it.
Okay. Do I see anything as I get closer?
Um,
That could help.
okay, that's smart.
Wait, before I did that, I asked for the sending stone.
You're a little past that now.
Okay, crap.
When you double and triple checked with me that you had moved close enough to him, no, we're not gonna go, but wait.
Sorry, got that part, y'all. It's okay, I'll just shout back to you. To not respond to noise anyway.
River is the best rogue.
What do I see?
Yeah, so as you're on your way towards Gregor, you see that there are many other pods that are in here.
Gross.
And as you're looking at them, you can see that inside there are various different people that you've seen around the city.
What? Like I recognize them?
Yes. There are various different
Can
people
I
that
tell
are,
if they're alive?
you can't tell if they're alive or not. They look as though they're asleep inside of these pods.
Oh no.
Some of them do not have people in them, and instead they have these sort of like medium-sized bug creature people that also appear to be asleep, but they're surrounded with this goo that as you look around at different ones in different stages of formation, it seems as though that goo is slowly hardening into an exoskeleton that looks like another person.
Okay, gross.
So D&D Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah,
Right. You kept saying alive, but not alive. And like, it's all ringing, like it makes sense now. I'm like, it was alive. Now it's not alive.
so that's what you saw as you approached this thing, and you are now looking at the side of this giant Gregor creature that looks like it's the same coloration as that goo that's hardened inside of those other pods.
Okay. Okay. Gross.
Mhm.
Um,
You are officially stealthed and right up next to this thing, and actually I'm gonna make you roll a Constitution save.
So that you don't barf.
Right. The
You s-
Gregor
you-
bug isn't done cooking.
Well, she's already established a lot at this point that River is creeped out and grossed out by everything that's going on here.
very.
She just saw probably the grossest, creepiest thing that's in this room. So I made her roll to see if she was going to hurl or not. She made a 16 though, so that's pretty good.
Okay. Do I still get an action?
Your
Because I
action,
got my movement.
your action was your stealth check, and your movement
Oh.
was your movement.
Okay, great. So I'm done.
Yeah, you're done. But you are in position right beside him. You're probably 10, no, maybe 5 feet away.
Okay.
That's a really dangerous place to be.
Yeah, but we just learned a lot.
Well, you did. We
You're
I learned a lot.
gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Like nothing's gonna go wrong.
no, no.
that's
This is why we stay in the cart.
The next person who's in the initiative is Tim.
Tim is going to lower his short. Tim is going to make an active stealth check into the shadows, if you would let him.
Mhm, go for it.
And that's going to be his bonus action. That is an 18.
Ooh,
um,
nice.
Yeah. Thank God for plus 10 and stealth.
Right?
And with his main action now, he's stealth. He's going to ready his action to attack with his bow. Should Gregor get close and attack physically one of the party members,
Cool.
which will still use his stealth attack or sneak attack.
Right, because he's still stealth.
Yep.
Got it.
Hey, didn't my AC go up because I took Barbarian?
Look at your unarmored defense. Yes, it did.
Okay. Should it be on my little shield spot there on my
It
character
is.
sheet? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, without that, it would have been a 14.
Okay.
No problem. Last, but certainly not least, it's Amir.
Who is asleep?
Can I see into the vats what these insects look like?
No, because that's something only River saw, because River darted up through one of the other aisles.
Okay. Tonks, on my signal, make a jaunty tune. I'm talking loud and annoying, mess up notes, distracting, but on my signal.
Okay.
And I place something on my mask, or I place something on my face, and I activate it, and I now look like the leader of the circus troupe that we came across.
Okay.
And I look up at Gregor and in a very clear voice say, "What's all this then? What the hell do you think you'll be doing?" And I'll roll whatever you want me to.
Okay, sure.
Can I aid him in that? You can't lie for a living. Remember, we've established this.
I think if you're going to do that, no, it's not even a lie, really. It's because it's more of him being able to see through your or to make an insight check against you. I think that, William, you'd need to roll performance.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. So he's gonna
only when it's funny, Ryan. Only when it's funny.
only when it's funny. Okay. Cool. The so Gregor sort of leans down lower and looks at you and grips hands on either side of his waist and then braces himself like he's about to charge at you. That's his reaction.
Charge at me?
I mean,
Okay.
he's not charging. He is making himself in a position that a bull could charge. Horns forward, head out, feet tucked behind him so he can start running. And at that, Ryan, that is the trigger for your action. So right after Emir, you can hop in here because he's now been threatened.
I warned him. I did warn him. I'm gonna hit him with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I thought Ryan was talking to me.
No.
Oh,
That's
so
a
did I.
10. No. That's a 10 for the first shot. I'm assuming that does that hit?
I don't think it does. I've got his stat sheet here somewhere. Hold on. Should have already had this up. No, it's not good. Actually, what the fuck am I doing? I have an entire Discord server devoted to this. Yeah, that's a miss.
I'm gonna yell out, "That was my warning," and then I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay.
Yes! I did even worse. See if I can continue my warning shots at him. Hey, look at that. That one will hit. And with that, I'm also gonna, so that's 12 points of damage to him. I'm also gonna push him back 10 feet from where he's at, which hopefully will knock him out of that whatever stance he's in.
Even with his size?
There isn't
I don't know.
10 feet behind him.
Does that mean it hurts him more? I really hope so.
Let me see.
It's like throwing you against a wall. There should be like added damage for hitting you against a wall.
Ryan, does it say what size of creature it affects?
I'm looking right now.
If it's large, it should be okay.
It doesn't say a size. It just says you can hit a creature. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line.
Mhm.
There's no size.
That is broken as hell. Ryan, that is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
under the right circumstances, warlocks can be ridiculous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so I rolled damage on that one too. That's a 15.
Okay.
And then also, again, I'm going to at least attempt pushing him back even further again.
Okay.
I discussed it with Miles before taking this feat, that if you were 35 feet from a cliff, I could throw you off the cliff with Eldritch Blast.
I have a question.
This is why I call him a Sith Lord.
That sounds like giving
It's
the
legit.
yes that I shouldn't.
What
See-
was that?
Now she's
What'd you say?
learning. She said she wanted to ask a question and then took it back because she was afraid of giving the DM ideas.
Hey, don't do
She's learning.
Kelly.
All right, so I guess that's my quote action to his action.
Okay. So 15.
Did that provoke any kind of look or difference in him whatsoever, or does he just look the way he did before?
So one moment. Your first blast, there's only 5 feet of room behind him. So your first blast hits him hard enough to push him up against the wall behind him. And you did successfully knock him out of the stance he was in. At the end of that first blast, his entire body was up against the wall. When the second blast hit, those bolts from your Eldritch Blast impacted, and you could see them sort of indent and sort of spread out, almost like the T-1000, just as his body sort of, and then he steps back out of the wall and resumes the position.
Assume the position.
Miles, stop mixing movies.
No,
'Cause it's
I like the
unfair.
sound effects.
Miles is very good at sound effects.
It's my favorite part.
Kelly, Amir leans over to you and asks, "Can you hit the string holder?"
I have Firebolt and hit 120 feet away, so I'm gonna try that, right? That's what I'm gonna try.
I'll keep Ugly's attention.
hey. Fuck.
Torch is. I don't think it's your turn. I'm pretty
If-
sure. It's
Is it?
Gregor's.
I got a. Sorry, I was.
No, we
I
can
got
we
button
can
happy.
we can absolutely hold on to that 20 if you end up like wanting to still do that. But yeah, now it's Gregor's turn.
My bad.
No, it's okay. It's all good. So first things first.
Oh, because Ryan held his action.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So it'll be Gregor's turn, then Ryan's again.
Yeah.
And then Kelly.
Oh, I thought Gregor getting that stance was his turn.
No, that was his reaction to what you did.
Oh, okay.
So he's getting within 5 feet to attack somebody, I imagine, correct?
He's making a charge.
Ooh.
Right before he hits, crossbow, right between the eyes.
Okay.
That is going to be a 12 to hit. Will a 12 hit? Actually, it has advantage because surprised, or not surprised, because hidden. So we'll go and roll again. Damn, same time, same roll. Does a 12 hit? Does a 12 hit?
Let's see. 12 does not hit.
Okay.
How does it
See, a bow, an arrow, a bolt literally goes straight towards his skull. His skull is so thick that it just bounces off.
You see it sort of part the gelatinous exoskeleton, and then it sort of forms back together.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm still hidden, by the way, courtesy of the Skulker feat.
Huh?
I'm still hidden, courtesy of the Skulker feat.
Right. Yeah, I love Skulker. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna make a charge attack, and that means that everybody that is in this hallway now needs to make a dexterity save.
But I'm like a row over.
Oh, that's right. I said everyone in this hallway. You're not in this hallway.
Oh, sorry, hallway.
Would you consider me who's hidden still in this hallway? Or would I have moved out of the way for playing Theater of the Mind?
Here. Even or odd?
Let's do odd. I'm feeling odd today.
You are still in the hallway.
All right. Got
Everybody
it.
who was within 10 feet of me, you get a +1 because of my aura. That was a 12.
17 then.
17. Very nice. Okay.
4.
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
Hard.
Yikes. Dex save 11 from Emir. Oh,
Like-
Torch and I are doing this together.
oh, oh, Torch got a nat 1.
Terrible.
Okay.
I'm with the yeah, I'm gonna save that 20.
You know what? If you want your firebolt die from that, that's a 15. I will give you your D20 out of that if you want that, because you didn't know that it wasn't your turn. Thanks, William. Inspiring greatness out of turn.
Right.
Should be a t-shirt.
Ooh, I like that.
So either way, Kelly, do you want to stick with the 1 or you want to go with the 15?
One's fine, right?
Okay. Then let's see. Let's roll damage. Hey, you both take 9 points of damage, and I need you both to make a strength saving throw.
Not close to him.
There's an 11.
Oh, I hit
Oh.
stealth. You said strength. Dang it.
Oh, wait, Kelly, both of those you rolled were checks and not saves.
Oh,
Like, that might actually be higher for you.
what is the difference? Where am I hitting a different button?
Because your
Yeah.
saves get a modifier. So let's see, your dex would be a nat 20.
Oh,
Oh.
And your strength would be a 17.
Oh, this is the one time you let you roll for me. Yeah. Yeah.
And the emoji happened too. Great.
What was the other thing you need to do?
Oh, I made it do like confetti and stuff the other day. I think I did like that. I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
so I got a 12 to mine if I'm adding Williams 1 to it. My
Okay.
strength set.
Okay. 12 would.
As close as the hallway, I would imagine all 3 of them would get the bonus.
Yeah, they definitely do. Unfortunately, a 12 is not high enough. Don't worry, it's not extra damage. You're just pushed 10 feet away and knocked prone.
Oh, that means I have
So-
to get up.
This one-horned minotaur on one side of about an 80-foot long hallway rushes down towards you and barrels into your entire group. Most of you are able to get out of the way before he actually hits you, but Torch and Dadu in the front take the immediate brunt of the attack. and are both pushed back up against the back wall and knocked prone.
Didn't she get out of the way though? I thought her dex save got her out of the way.
She had rolled the dex before. Do you want to keep the 20?
The answer to that is yes.
The answer to that is yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So then Kelly also gets out of the way.
So you
Okay.
took no damage. I took the damage, and I'm knocked prone.
Yes, you are knocked prone on the far side of the room, Ryan. Gregor is now standing about 20 feet from you, Ryan, which would put him within about 5 feet of the rest of the group, even though the group is not in that hall right now because they got out of the way.
Do I have to use my action to stand up? If I'm not
It's your movement.
okay, so with my movement, I'm gonna stand.
Okay.
Gonna dust myself off. And I'm gonna say, okay, let's do it again.
If he was next to Gregor, would that be an attack of opportunity situation?
Gregor's 20 feet away from him. So Gregor does have reach, but he'd have to be within 10.
Well, that'll miss.
I was just curious how you play it, because I know some DMs do it differently.
Yeah. That 17 is definitely a hit.
Woo! I'm
Okay.
rolling all the great dice tonight. Ooh, hey.
Holy
Damn.
shit!
Wow.
Ooh.
Fuck
Does that
yeah.
do more damage because it was a nat 20?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I'll let you calculate that. I got one more roll.
Yeah, do it.
And Tonks dodge too?
Yeah, I'm not making rolls for her. She's just staying with the party.
Does a 14 hit?
14 does hit. It's dead on.
Great. So you can figure out the damage from that one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look right at him and say, "Your move, big boy."
So what you encounter is this thing hits Dadu at such an incredible rate of speed that he launches across the room like a crash test dummy, impacts the wall, falls face first down onto the ground, picks himself back up, and blows a hole through the center of Gregor's torso.
And each time I hit, I'm hitting him with repelling blast too.
So you see him slowly push back further and further and further down the hall as this green energy eats its way through the center of him. And you hear this thing shriek an ungodly sound and fall down to the ground as its exoskeleton melts away.
Ew.
And what's left behind is this medium-sized bug creature. Sort of,
Is it dead?
it's barely twitching.
Oh, Lord Dadu.
That's the first time Lord Dadu's taken damage. Something that'll piss him off.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Dadu has done all the damage this turn, like this fight.
2 turns. 2 turns.
You just killed this monster solo.
Yum.
All the experience points, all you.
No,
Hold
but I
on.
am going to give you an inspiration point. That's pretty awesome. Your character just like met the person he's been searching for this entire time, figured out it wasn't who he was looking for, and instead of trying to figure anything out, question the guy, he just burnt him to death.
As Dadu does.
Right. I might have been willing to ask more questions, but you pushed me up against a damn wall.
Can I go
Now I got
investigate?
goo on my shirt.
Right. Jeez. You know how hard it is to keep this stuff dry cleaned?
I have a question.
Yes,
So if the monster's dead, does that mean we're out of combat and I can move freely?
correct.
Okay, I am rushing my happy ass back over to the group and telling them what I saw in the pods.
You know, I think what's really hilarious about this is if, as he's getting pushed back, since each one of those is a 10-foot push, this bug creature falls over and melts. And as it falls over, about 15 feet back, you see River standing there.
That's gross.
Can I go
Guys!
investigate this thing?
Let me tell you what I found out.
All ears.
So all of these creatures in the pods are people who live in the city of Reef. So I wanna know what happens if we open a pod.
I'm gonna say be careful, or else you might fall in.
Like, I don't wanna end up in the pod and I don't wanna kill the person in the pod.
Can I go investigate the thing I just killed?
Yes.
Let's
Great.
do,
I'd like to loot that thing.
It does not have anything on its person. If you wanted to, you could try and break pieces of the thing off, like of its body, but it does not have any equipment.
So what about Gregor? Is the Gregor thing just gone in a poof of smoke? Or is Gregor dead next to it?
No, this thing is not Gregor. This thing, it's like it was a bug covered in a wax suit that looked like Gregor, and the wax just melted.
So in front of me is just kind of this like blob of nastiness, right?
Hmm.
Torch, do me a favor, burn that
wait,
like,
investigate it first.
to ash. I just want it gone.
Shouldn't we investigate it first?
I did investigate it. It was a bunch of grossness.
That's it.
Produce flame, right?
Is there anything?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there anything of value or to gain knowledge wise by looking at this thing any closer?
You can make an Arcana check.
Well, let's see. We're either going to roll high or low.
Medium. It's a 12.
I just can't call one of these tonight.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, there's nothing about this that you could use for anything. You're not even really entirely sure what the makeup of these things is. You just know that if Casabella Carathops was telling the truth, which you have no reason to believe or disbelieve, I suppose, these things come from the negative energy plane, where you've never been. So,
Yeah, Torch, if you wouldn't mind, just burn that to ash for me.
Produce flame.
mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that there was something that was attached to it, or was like a puppet master, or
That's
it
the
looked like
thing.
it was attached to something.
so what I was trying to say is it had this bug thing inside the body.
Okay. Okay.
There wasn't like something puppeteering it. There was a thing inside a thing.
Okay.
The pod's definitely Killer Clowns from Outer Space vibes. Just saying. That's what where my mind goes.
Just
So-
in case anyone ever wondered, I am just steeped in pop culture. So if you dig and pick apart my games enough, you'll find all of it.
I mean, that's 6 movies so far.
16 Candles was in one of our episodes.
I feel dirty.
Okay, so Ymar, I'd say at the risk of hurting one of those poor townsfolk, but like I care and everything. You want to take that nice sunblade of yours, slice open one of those pods, and see if that person's still alive?
No, actually, I've got a different idea.
Ooh.
Torch, you okay if I open up one of these?
Isn't
All
that
right.
what you just asked you to do though?
So, Miles, there's a whole bunch of them in here, right?
Yeah.
When I get close to it, how clear can I see what's inside?
Think frosted glass.
Okay.
So you can see there's something in there. You can't tell fine details, but you can tell enough that
You
you
said
know.
I could recognize them
Yeah, but you see them every day.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not saying that they're blobs of color. I'm saying that they are not definitive enough that you could go, oh, well, this is a cleric of whatever.
Okay.
Can I roll a dice or something?
Roll it.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Amir says out loud, we will choose whichever one we want, and we will open it and see what happens. But first, I will cast spell.
When did the Ymir go Russianly?
I am just baffled, and somebody's reading my notes. I said that canonically, dwarves in my world do not have a Scottish accent; they have a Russian accent.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean that it is everyone across the board. I don't paint with that wide of a brush, but yeah, if you wanna, Scotty my dwarves, I am instead going to make them Ruski.
I have known a few Russians in my lifetime, and I spent some time in Romania. So
Your accent's pretty good.
it's not as good as it used to be, but I'll get better with practice.
Well, you can't always do it, so they. Anyway,
Don't quit your day job.
I just make sure to say nuclear vessel, and it starts to come back.
Yes, the nuclear.
no, the
vessel.
problem here is that you're not trying hard enough, comrade. Perhaps if you dig a little deeper, like Mother Russia.
Okay, did you say you were casting a spell?
I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration to get rid of poison effect on, let's just call it a random vial.
Okay.
DM's choice on what's actually inside that casket.
Okay.
But I cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
And then very carefully, I activate my blade. And I say, we are going to be very careful on how we open this.
Okay.
And I no more than an inch in, I let the blade just sizzle to the outside of the glass and start to cut a hole.
Okay. When you place it up against the surface, it's not like glass exactly. It's more like that body. It's sort of like wax. So as you press that hot blade up against it, you start to see it just sort of shrivel and melt down around as you go across.
Okay.
And inside, the first thing that happens is you get this sort of whiff of almost like formaldehyde. This incredibly bitter and caustic smell. And as it starts to slowly melt further and further down, it eventually hits a point where this liquid just begins to pour out. And it slowly melts down until inside you see, well, actually, no, you've all met him at this point. You see the leader of one of the thieves guilds. Let me pull up my.
He gets stuck down here. He should have made it out with all the civilians in the other room we were in.
There he is.
He did.
Yeah, the Court of Sparrows.
Really?
Yeah, this is the leader of the Court of Sparrows.
He and I are friends.
Gom Gallion. Appears to be unconscious. There is a long black tendril that is stuffed down his throat. And you can see that same sort of small black bug, those void crawlers, has attached itself to the side of his neck and is bitten down so hard that you can actually see the skin starting to curl up and cover up the little feet of it.
Did this spell have any effect or visual effect?
What you can see is that he looks as though he's actually breathing.
Okay.
Burn that thing off of his neck.
And is he wearing gear, clothing, items?
Yeah, he's dressed in like regular attire. He's got everything that he had on him whenever he came in here.
River, help me pat this guy down. We wake him up, he might be dangerous.
Look at River. River says no.
Like waxy goo.
I will help you do it though.
All right. What do we find on him?
You find there's no magical items of note. You do, however, find about 17 platinum pieces, a set of keys, 3 sets of lock picks, a map, a compass, and enough primer cord to blow up a building.
Tim reaches over and it's like, yoink.
Is his sigil on him?
It is not.
Are his shoes on him? What?
They are.
Does he have pants on still?
I don't care about that part. It's not part of my list.
This game is getting dirtier all the time. Nobody cares about pants.
Cody, when they met me, I was stealing the shoes of another guild leader.
Oh,
So-
yeah, you got it.
I don't know what Ymir wants to take, but I'm gonna remove his shoes.
This is the silliest running gag.
Amir slips the map and the compass into the back of his cloak, the
Okay.
back of my belt.
Did someone else?
What
take
is the
card
map
before?
of though? What's the map of?
We don't know yet.
I didn't open it up. I just stuck it in the back of my belt. But you know, underneath my tabard, I'm a paladin, and the rest of his items I place a few feet away from him.
Next to his shoes. They're covered in goo. She's not gonna take them yet.
We got goo shoes, goo shoes.
Okay, so now can I look over at Ymir and say, would you mind burning that thing on his neck till it's dead?
Ooh.
Do we have? Does Tonks have any kind of a healing or a restoration spell or anything like that?
Let's see.
Tonks has healing spells.
Alex has some stuff. We got healing word.
Oh, Torch, do you have any ice spells?
I have ice knife.
How does that work?
He stabbed somebody with an ice knife.
Yeah, you create a shard of ice. Fling one creature within range, make a spell tag, hit or miss. Yeah, pretty much. Stab them with ice.
You actually,
Is it-
you also have one other thing, but it's way more powerful. You have Dragon's Breath.
I always think, I mean, we don't want to injure the person, right?
No, I'd prefer us not to kill the leader of the Court of Sparrows.
Can
I
we-
mean, if he had his sigil on him and he happened to die, I wouldn't mind. But he doesn't have a sigil on him, so killing him probably shouldn't happen. Miles, you really need to remind me out of game or like when combat starts, if we're going up against one creature, use the damn curse.
Hexblade's Curse is beautiful. You really should use it more.
You should also save that for something definitely more beefy, though. Like you kill that thing in 2
Can you
turns.
freeze the bug thing with your ice knife?
So just tell me what you're doing, y'all.
I want to either freeze or damage that creature in such a way that it pops off his neck without killing him.
Make a medicine check.
I can do that.
Can I do that as well?
You can aid him.
Now, would that mean I just roll it as well? And if I do well, it helps him?
Correct.
No, he would get it. I thought aid would give advantage. Or am I thinking help action?
So the way that I do it is to make it a whole lot more basic. If somebody else rolls the same and they also hit the DC, I'm going to give the other person a +5.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, makes it really simple.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to roll in my fashion tonight. High, low, high, low, high, low.
I'm willing to guess. I made it.
You did.
I didn't.
I mean, that's cool.
Ymir, you look at this thing, and even though you don't know anything about what these creatures are, where they come from, the way that this thing is attached to this guy reminds you a lot about basic training and how it is to take leeches off of your friends.
Hmm,
Them off.
salt.
I reactivate my blade.
Okay.
Very, very gently as I can. I place my shield against where the base of his neck, trying to shield him as much as I can from the heat
Yeah.
and everything else. And I burn the creature.
Okay. You don't have to roll to hit, roll damage on that blade. Cool. You hear a popping sound like popcorn.
Mm.
And when you take your shield away, all that's left is a mixture of blood and pus.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
no-
in character.
Nobody likes that word.
Yeah.
And this thing's, he still has this pipe down his throat, though.
Medicine check to pull it out.
You made a successful medicine check at an 18. I'm fine. I'm fine with you keeping that to go.
Okay.
So yeah, if as long as you're going to do it, you, Amir, can make this check to just get it out.
Place my hand on his chest and gently pull the thing out of his throat.
When you do, he coughs up some more of that liquid that was inside of the cocoon and gasps for air.
I roll him on his side and rub his chest.
Sorry.
He seems very delirious and doesn't speak, but looks around at all of you very confused and then passes out. As that happens, you see on the far side of the hallway that oculus that closed when you had just came out of here, Amir, opens back up, and you can see more of these creatures out on the street, and something begins to walk down into the room. Now, at this point, it can't see you.
I'm gonna hide, and I'm gonna encourage the rest of the people. It's like, party, hide, quick.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I get on top of these things?
No, they're attached to the ceiling and the floor.
So we can't leave through this opening?
You can when it's open.
Oh, did it close again? I didn't
Not
hear
yet.
that part.
That's what I'm saying. Like this thing, imagine it's not an opening dead ahead of you, it is up. So like you would be looking up. So this thing, whatever it is up here looking down. Imagine like looking down into a basement or a cellar or something like that. So it can't see you from its vantage point, but you can see its legs.
Sorry. Immediately, I think very, very hard and use my mask to turn myself into one of the guards of the city that is just sitting around the city, just one of the random guards that are walking around, and make it look like I've got an axe hanging on the back on my back, like a regular guard. I pick the guy up, and I'll do a strength check if you need, but I'll pick the guy up, put him on my shoulder, and just start walking towards the opening.
Okay. I get what you're going for, but we have to focus on one thing here, and that's that Reef has no guards.
Um,
Oh,
This is the city of thieves, and they specifically have said there's no laws and no guards because everyone works together to maintain this city. That's the reason why it is so bizarre that they have wanted posters now, and people are being hunted in the street because there's no laws to enforce. So what the hell is happening?
the dwarfs that attacked us.
The Iron Barons.
Yes, I turn into one of them.
Okay.
One of the mild ones.
Okay.
And I pick him up and I start walking towards the opening.
Okay. Is everyone else going to try and hide?
Yeah, I'm a hide.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
hiding.
get some-
Yep.
Let's get some stealth checks going then. Tim, you're good.
17.
Stealth check. Stealth.
No, you don't have to roll stealth, William, because what you're doing. That's a nat 1 from River.
are you freaking
Yeah.
Bring your own dice.
I'm gonna get my own dice. Excuse me.
I'm
What I missed?
continuing my game of high-low tonight.
I rolled Brooke's stealth check, and River rolled a nat 1. And so
Really?
she's upset that I rolled a nat 1, and I told her she needs to have her own dice then. So now she's searching.
You know, you can pull up a
Hi.
website on your
I have
phone.
literally tons of dice open.
Hi, girls.
I know they're cursed.
Hi, girls. You miss me?
That's good timing. Dog break.
There's so
Alright.
many d20s right over there.
Speaking of dog break, Autumn, if you
I don't
haven't
know, I
done
don't
so already, let the dogs outside.
You wearing shorts?
Your
Did you
dogs
look
aren't
in
wearing
your
shorts.
nightstand?
What question is that?
All right, I'm gonna pause
Yeah.
while we're waiting on this.
May or may not have had some of the same religious bonds I have, right? And he was known for. I like how you're recording this again.
Brook Founder dice. I just didn't want to interrupt you.
He was known for this thing he called the Holy Hand. And it was like it was like you stretch your hand out as far above your head as you can, and you start shaking it like this, and then in a full half moon shot, you nail someone. And I did not say man or woman. You nail somebody right square up in the butt cheek with that sucker. If you connect perfectly with that, people jump every time. Not that I've ever
Right?
seen it done or been around it or
That's where
seen
that
that in my
came
life,
from?
but it was called the Holy Hand, and it made lots of people cry, or so I'm told.
Borrow your table.
Wow.
+9.
I'm gonna steal that.
That's
You're
6.
gonna steal the Holy Hand?
Maybe.
So that would be a 25. Brooke.
Thank you.
So
Wait, hold on. Is Brooke
25
actually rolling dice now?
just so
Like
you
real
know,
dice?
River rolled better than I did.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. 14,
William, come back to
16,
us.
17. Yeah, all of you are good as far as stealth is concerned. William, you turned into one of the Iron Barons, and you are now marching towards the door with which body? The one that belonged to the creature, or the one that you pulled out of the pod?
Out of the pod.
Okay.
So the guild leader.
The leader of the court of sparrows.
Okay. So you've only seen a few of them, so you'll definitely look like somebody you've seen before. But
Okay.
whatever. And as you start to head down the hall towards that door, down steps this pair of legs, and they are attached to someone you have seen before.
Hey.
You see Scovald Kegthrone, the leader of the Iron Barons.
Wait, directly the person basically he would report to.
Basically, if they were a kingdom and not a thieves guild, the king.
Yeah.
And you're dressed as this guard.
This was not planned based on what you said. This was already planned. Which is what made me go, oh, okay.
This is this or other.
So he walks down the stairs and then steps to the side, and in walk two more of those shadowy looking monsters, and they are leading three other townsfolk that all appear to be sort of zombie-like, walking into these empty pods that are down one of the aisles. And that's when he turns and sees you, William. What in the fuck are you doing here?
This one couldn't last. It died. I'm removing it, making room for more.
Mm-hmm. You gonna make a check for me, William?
Yeah, absolutely. What you want?
Deception or persuasion?
This is deception because he's not dead.
I'm dead.
You're dead.
Quick question. Can we say that, are we seeing this? Like, do we see this?
Okay, so before we go too much further in how you're trying to save William, Ryan, you did get an inspiration point just a second ago and you're able to use inspiration points for anybody at the table, not just
Great.
yourself.
So if I get that inspiration point and everything, because I already had one, does that let him roll with advantage or just a reroll?
That'll give him a reroll, or you can declare it now and he can roll with advantage.
I'm declaring it now so he can roll with advantage.
Okay. William?
Only when it's funny.
2 ones.
No, you did not seriously get 2 ones.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's a 16 and a 7. Okay, 16.
Woo!
With advantage, that's right.
It could
Yeah.
be worse.
Thank you, baby Jeebus.
I think you mean Lord Dadu. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm only saying it in this way because other people in the group can't. But he says something to you in Dwarvish. Put them with the rest of them. The master will not be interrupted tonight.
That's it. Just nod and
And
walk
nods
out.
towards the door so you can get the fuck out.
And it's
And
still.
Yeah, it's still open. Scovold marches off after those bug creatures and supervises them closing up the cocoons around those 3 other townsfolk. So if you can somehow make it 60 feet without making any noise, you can get out of here unnoticed. And I'm saying that for everyone in the room.
I was just about to say.
The question is, do we want to do that or are we going to try to save these? I mean, I'm not the hero, so I'm all for leaving. What do I care if they all die?
So everyone in the group is together right now, except for Emir, who is now, I'm going to go ahead and say Emir is out of the room.
Mhm.
We're not going to continue with whatever the hell Emir is seeing outside right now, but we'll say Emir is out of the room and therefore out of the conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
So then the rest of us are going to try to get out.
The rest of you have to decide what you're doing, because Ryan did pose a pretty good devil's advocate question here. Are you going to leave here and try and escape so that you can figure out what to do next? Or
Exactly.
are you going to try and stay?
Who
So-
has sending stones?
Miles, what I know, I'm going to propose this. So Tim kind of like pulls you aside. Look, I've been down here a while. I can navigate through this. All right. Let me take care of this situation down here. You handle the outside. I'll save as many people as I can.
Bella.
How are you gonna? We just got you back from being cursed. One wrong move and you have another one of those things down your throat.
Hey, I survived a pretty good time down here already. All right. I know what I'm doing. Now I've got the sanity. And you see he taps his chest where you put his wallet with his family pictures in it. To where it's like, and I got some good company now. I can save the people here. I think somebody's got to stop what's happening in the city, and more importantly, what's happening up top.
Torch, it's your call.
I don't think it's possible to save the people down here, because what are you gonna do? Rip all these pods open and then drag bodies out to where?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing you also got to think about. Somebody's got to stop these things from leaving and doing more harm.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like we need to find the solution to the problem though. Like as far as we know, the entire thing is an illusion, right? I don't know. I'm voting leave it behind to solve the bigger problem.
So real quick, Tim is going to gently take out that little jar.
Mhm.
So remember my little friend right here, little squirrel? I'm telling you, I could fix this thing pretty fast.
So everyone there, I'm not even going to make you make a roll. Everyone there except Dadu, because you didn't see it happen. Witnesses Tim pull out this little glass sphere with a squirrel alive inside of it, and recognize immediately Gargalar,
Oh,
the polymorphed.
Wait, how does he have Gargalar? Gargalar is supposed to be in a jar.
No, Gargalar was inside. I didn't describe it as a jar. I described it as a sphere, but said that it was like a jar.
Yeah.
And it's, imagine a hamster ball, but it's got a squirrel inside, and he can't get out. So they polymorphed it into that thing and then put it inside that container, and then the fight started. So it was sort of left there in the sewer when the water started rushing through.
So what are you gonna do with Gargalar?
I can think of a lot of things that need some cleaning up down here, right? Of course, after we try to get as many people out as we can.
That's fair. Unleash Gargalar. Yeah, he'll do that shit. All right, I'm okay, Torch. If you say leave, let's get going.
Yeah, if he wants to save him, I'm not gonna stop him. But yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak out, right? Or we got
Yeah.
bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. You all take care of the big fish.
Ooh,
Take care of the rest.
Can we give Tim one of the sending stones,
yes.
Sure.
and then we can try to stay in communication?
You've got 2 of the 3 with you right now, so you could give one to him.
As much as I like having this so that we can communicate as a team, if he's going to be down here, I say we leave him with one of them, and the moment you need help and everything, you need to tell us. Not that I know how we're going to get back down here, but we'll find a way.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm going to let everyone keep the stealth rolls that they already made.
Okay.
The only thing that I am going to require is for you to sort of declare to me how you're exiting. Are you trying to sneak out of this place? Are you trying to get out of here as quick as you can? Because if that's the case, then you might not be as stealthy.
I'm using my feline agility.
Okay.
That's a good call.
I'm walking out fast enough to get out of the opening, but yet quiet enough and slow enough to not be seen.
Okay. Super. So everybody makes their exit from this room up to the Oculus that then sort of closes, leaving Tim down here. Well, not necessarily by himself, but moving the party on out of this horrifying little chamber of dark terror back onto the city streets. As you reach the stones of the city streets, you notice something that you haven't seen the entire time you've been here. It is pouring rain. In fact, River, you can't remember the last time it rained in Reef.
I pull an umbrella out of my fur get. Oh no, I just pull. I'll just pull
Mysteriously, River has an umbrella hat with no explanation.
There we go.
I vote we make our way back to the Rottens, check in and rest.
You hear the sounds of commotion from all around. You don't see anything from where you're at right now. You are at the back side, at the base of Ivor's Tower, facing Old Town. So remember on our map of Reef that the eastern side of Ivor's Tower is a big sort of courtyard where you'd enter into the place. You're on the western side, the back side, where there isn't even a road. So you're standing in a place where nobody should have been able to get to, and you're starting to notice around you the sounds, the sights, the smell of burning and death. Scratch marks along these walls from these creatures. that have been going and coming. You see littered pieces of clothing and gear that have fallen off of people as they've been led back here. You can definitely make it to Old Town from here pretty easily. But what you're seeing is very concerning.
Are there any sigils and shoes?
Are you going to take the time to look?
No.
I mean, we do have an unconscious person with us.
Yeah.
And we probably could use the rest.
I apologize for the interruption, but I'm gonna go ahead and channel my inner other dwarf. Friends, we should also remember that anyone we come across is going to be possibly like, so we need to go somewhere safe, and perhaps we should not talk about this with anyone else.
I'm down for getting to where we need to go.
So you are, based on where you're at, you're actually butted right up against the southernmost point of Old Town. So you can really just slip right inside. You know that this same alleyway leads to Lost Forge on the other end of it, though, which is likely where they're coming from.
Torch, where do you want to go?
Hmm.
I didn't even want to be a leader.
Okay, so as the resident of Reef here, I would very much like to get back to my guild and let them know what the fuck is going on under our city streets. Can we do that?
Sounds good to me.
So let's have perception. So that's what Ooh, okay, River needs to make a perception check.
Okay.
D20 plus 1. That's 4.
It's
So
4.
5. Okay. That's okay.
Super.
That's okay. You are able to lead the whole group of you back to the Rotten's headquarters as quickly and safely as possible.
Okay.
However, while that's happening, River is completely unaware of all of the destruction that has happened all around. The tops of some of these buildings have been blown completely off. There are these dark creatures flying through the sky above you. High enough up that you can't quite tell what they are, but they're up there in the rain and hidden from everything. Horrible dark monstrosities are here in this city, and they are doing terrible things. And River is very interested in what her shoes look like right now.
Do any of us notice these things?
Yeah, everyone else is that's the thing, is everyone's passive perception was high enough except Rivers, which is the reason why I had River make a roll. In just as the off chance, since she was leading the group, she could roll higher.
Nope.
Can I call Kiddo to me while we're walking back there, or are we just back there?
Yes, you can. And aside from that, there isn't anything on this way. You pass by other members of the townsfolk. Lots of them are rushing by trying to find shelter. There are some people that are in the center of these different city streets, all talking with each other about what's going on and what to do and how this is happening and why won't Ivor save us?
Can I write a note on a piece of parchment, hand it to Kiddo, and have her take it to Emil? With the note simply saying, "Get to the Rotten's headquarters."
Sure, I could say that could happen.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Both you and her do not know where Emil is, but Kiddo definitely knows what Emil looks like. So she'd be able to find him eventually.
Well, she should know where his shop was because we've been to it before.
Right. Yeah. If you're sending her to his shop, that's one thing versus sending her to him.
Well, I'm going to tell her start there, and if he's not there, find him.
Okay, cool.
Wee.
I'm glad that made the recording. uh,
Before we go in, though, I would have to agree with my dwarf companion. And I look at everyone else and I point out that River could have given us away at any point. So obviously she is not one of these mimics. These realistic mimics. She could have ended the danger right there, but she didn't. Just because I don't have a lot of deception doesn't mean I can't think about these kind of things. And Tim could have given us away at any time. I don't believe he ever would. And the rest of us have been together for the entire time. So splitting the party in this type of situation should not be done from this point on. We should not split up just in case. But this is just my personal opinion. I think that tentatively letting River's father know what's going on can be helpful. But at this point, I think that divination wizard in the tower is the only ally that we can rely on that we know of. But personally, I would like to gear up and go kill us a wizard because it is Tuesday after all.
So when we get back to the Rottens, would I be able to tell if the people there, like from my guild, are under the control of those buggy things?
Ooh, good call.
That would be a thing that we'd have to roll in the moment. I wouldn't be able to give you that information ahead of time.
So like if we got back there and we went straight to talk to my dad as the guild leader, before we start talking, I want to know if he's
But also, just to throw this out there to everybody, when one of these things had Gregor or had Gregor's shape, you could tell Gregor didn't look like Gregor. Gregor looked dark. Gregor looked bad. When what's his name was in the pod, he had a thing down his throat. So there should be visual signs if anybody's been taken over.
But
But
Gregor
Gregor
wasn't done
wasn't-
cooking. Potentially, anybody and everybody we've come in contact with is one of those bugs. Like everybody.
However,
And it has been this whole time. Potentially.
I mean,
The
the
whole
only way
thing's
we'd
an
know that is
illusion.
the only way we'd know that is if we could find another version of the Court of Sparrows guy, because Gregor's been dark since we entered the town. We saw all of the guild leaders like a day or two ago. So in theory, it takes quite a while for them to cook.
But the tower has been under this illusion the entire time. When we arrived here, they all could have been bugs to begin with.
But why wouldn't they have attacked us when we were in the night market, if that were the case? When there was 50 of them.
Because we didn't know what they were at the time. They had no reason to disclose what they were at the night market. Now, potentially, they know we know potentially, but they
But do they? I mean,
They don't.
we killed
but we
the
know
one.
potentially they all could be bug people. Every last one of them.
Yeah. How do we know?
So we
that?
could go investigate,
But then how
or
would-
we
how
could
would-
go to the wizard dude.
Well, before we go to the wizard dude, we still have to go to the other. We still have to leave the town, go to the other temple, and get the other coin.
Yeah, we need the
Because-
coin.
Because Capit Apolapidus told us and everything that if you don't have the coins, you're not kicking this wizard's butt. And as much as I'd love to go charge in there and just whoop up on him and everything, we need the power to be able to do it. River said. I'm not a-
Can you send that to everyone? I can't.
That's a river thing.
I couldn't hear you, and it was too good.
I want.
Oh, I just repeated what you said. I said, River said, how do I know I'm not a bug?
I can actually hear it say it. Here's the thing. We know for a fact that not everybody's been turned. And here's how we know this. One, River's not. And two, we kicked the fuck out of 2 groups of people and none of them turned back into that bug thing.
Oh, okay.
So not everybody is. And the owl wizard, it wasn't a bug thing. That was an
It
Oron.
was something else.
Oni.
Oni.
So we don't know how far this is spread, but it's definitely not everywhere.
Okay, true.
We
But
just need to be cautious.
Just because it's not a bug doesn't mean it's not something bad under the wizard's control.
So,
And I
I don't want-
apologize, Miles. Last thing.
Yeah.
We do have a bug detector.
River? Ew? What? Oh, I mean, we do have the Sunblade.
Creatures from that plane do not like sunlight.
Ooh.
Yeah, but if they're wearing bodysuits, then it kind of shields them from that.
that is a thing that you are now putting 2 and 2 together on, Amir, is that since you entered Reef, it's never rained, but you have never seen the sun in the sky. Not once. It's been light, but there's been no sun.
Hmm.
Like always cloudy.
It's always cloudy.
It's always cloudy in Reef.
So clearly we're not in Philadelphia.
Definitely not. Would I remember a time when Reef did have sunlight?
Yes, of course.
And how long ago was that?
Well, you can't remember.
Okay.
But at least your lifetime.
Yeah.
So have we made it back to the Rottens yet?
Yeah, I was trying to say is that I was going to declare that while you're having this conversation, you're having it in the little square outside of the Rottens headquarters before you go inside.
Mhm.
Since nobody really said where they were having this conversation, I assume you snuck through the streets, got to this point, you're like, okay, let's talk before we go in there in case those people are bugs too.
So I guess turn that blade on before we walk in. No?
I think we want to wait until we actually suspect somebody might be a bug. Bug avatar? Is that what they are?
If I was playing a rogue, this would be so easy.
Well, tell me what to do. I don't know.
So you head back inside of the Rottens headquarters. Passing through the door, inside it is a very quiet room, which you haven't experienced in this place before. The
Warning.
the number of people in here has diminished greatly. Where this used to be very active, probably at any point 15 to 20 people inside of this place. Now there are 10 sitting in perfect silence while Ogrim paces back and forth in front of the door. And he absolutely falls apart when he sees the lot of you come through. I thought you died. I thought nobody made it out of there. I don't know how you're here or what you did to get here, but you have come at the worst time. Things have gotten so terrible, and I don't know what we're supposed to do now. The streets are overrun. The people are either scared or dead or worse. and nobody can leave. We've tried. The doors to the city are open, but no matter how hard we try, we cannot leave. One door leads to the other. We're trapped. I don't know what you've done or what you plan to do, but these people are suffering and we need to help them. A couple of the other thieves come over and pick up Gom from you and carry him over to a bed they've made so that they can nurse him back. We lost several people in the flood, and in the fallout since then. When Ivor found out that you were down there, he punished everyone that he knew attended. 3 of the wards of the city are on fire now. And we have to figure out what to do, or he's going to burn us all down. You have my help and anybody else that we can get a blade from, but I swear we need to know what to do now. Help us. And that's where I'm going to call game.
Good timing.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, on Discord, I'm so picking their brains because as soon as Kelly gives us a game plan, that's what we're doing.
Well, fantastic game tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I had a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
You got a ton of exposition. And also got to see what happens when you fight one of those creatures. So battle plus plot plus plot plus plot. Everyone gets another 700 experience points.
Should put us at 15,535.
That's what I have.
Excellent.
Brooke, we are gonna need you to make sure you double check his math tonight.
I
I'm sorry,
will
double check
absolutely
Stan's math
check
tonight.
I will
What are we
just
supposed to be at?
certify that that is correct.
15,535.
3 heavy role-play encounters and 1 combat encounter. 750, 250, 250, 500. Divide by 4.
Shouldn't that be divided by 5?
Oh, that's right. Divided by 5. Well, that might be less than.
Ryan, 15 what?
Well, I said 15,535, but it's probably supposed to be less.
Let's see. 750 plus 250. It's 700. We'll stick with it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's better that way.
15,535.
I
Yep.
think Kelly was the only one who saw the look I gave you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that is one of those bonuses that you get, Brooke.
Yeah. I get to see behind the screen.
Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.